that happened to my suit, what would happen, and how would that compare to what would happen, say, on the moon?
Okay, so the atmosphere on Mars is 1/100th as thick as the atmosphere on the Earth. And it turns out that at that low pressure, if you had an open glass of water on Mars, it would boil. So eventually, the water in your body would boil. But it turns out, that chemists, when they go to boil fluids, they throw in things called boiling beads, and they have little scratches on them, and it promotes the actual gentle beginning of boiling. But you don't have boiling beads inside your skin. So your helmet comes off, you've got maybe 15 seconds, and people have tested this, before the blood in your body bursts into boiling and you swell up. I think just like Arnold Schwarzenegger did in that movie once. I think they got that part right. Of course, then they restored the entire atmosphere of Mars in the next few seconds, and that's probably pushing the science a little bit far.
Do you get do you get a lot of questions about the space, stuff like that? We have half a dozen on the board here that, basically the same question.
I'm a planetary scientist. I'm the discoverer of the shape of the Martian snowflake. So I've actually done research on the Viking mission on Mars. So go ahead, ask again.
Oh, okay, you asked for it, as the old show used to say. Let's go to Clyde in Spokane. Hi, welcome to Science Friday.
Hello, and
my ears are popping.
my question is,
the elevation is now,
in the ocean of Europa.
let's see,
How deep could we go before the pressure is a problem?
875 and climbing still.
So we're going to have that ocean on Europa. It's the density of water. Now the gravity on Europa is a little bit less than the gravity on water, so you'll be able to go a little bit deeper. So we know that on Earth we can go to the bottom of the Marianas Trench. But the oceans on Europa are probably even deeper. So eventually, as you're going down in the oceans of Europa, the pressure will probably exceed the ability of any vessel we've ever built so far and crush you. And so it might be an interesting experience for the first few kilometers you're going down. You get to see what is it out there swimming in the oceans of Europa. But eventually, the pressure's going to win. You're going to get crushed, even with the lower gravity.
I'm hoping they bring that fabled styrofoam cup down there. You know what I'm talking about?
I do. And just picture your brain as the styrofoam cup. So as your spacecraft submarine gets crushed, that's what happens to your skull and your brain, just like that styrofoam cup that squeezes down to tiny nothingness.
Now, I know in your book, and this is a great book. I'm talking to Paul Doherty, who just joined us, author of Then You're Dead. Great title. We'll get to that in a second. There are questions you imagine that have actually happened. Someone did put their body into a particle accelerator?
That's right. Russian scientist by the name of Pogorsky was working on the U-70 particle accelerator in Russia, and it happened to turn on while he had his head in the way of the beam. So it not only went through his hand, it went through his head, from the back of his head to the front. And he said he saw a flash the brightness of 1,000 suns. And they all thought he was going to die. I mean, he had this particle beam the diameter of a pencil lead go right through from the back to the front of his face. But it turned out, much to everybody's surprise, he survived the radiation. He actually went on and got his PhD.
Wow.
And but it paralyzed the left side of his face. And it turns out, if you look at a picture of him now, the left side of his face is smooth and unlined and looks just like he did when he was a student. And the right side is all wrinkled like it should be at his age. So maybe you don't really want the ultimate beauty treatment. You just stick your head in the particle accelerator.